UFC Paris DraftKings Cash Game Builder Show. Smash the like button for me. Gonna break down this card, how you should be building your lineups for DraftKings Cash Games. It's not the big tournaments. We're talking 50-50s, head-to-heads. Make a little bit of money. Subscribe to the channel over on YouTube. I'll do a tournament video on Friday. Hit the optimal on that show a couple weeks ago. You want fight breakdowns? That was done earlier in the week, already done. That video is up and ready to go. This is specifically DraftKings cash game lineup building. All right, and it should be a relatively straightforward video because 3 of your 6 spots are done. They are locked in, period, end of story. Number 1, we're going to even skip the main event stack. You go down here, you put Kawhi Fernandez in at 6,800 in. He needs to be in your cash game lineup. He should be 95+% owned. Reason is, if you don't know, Kawhi Fernandez is now taking on Harry Hardwick. He's a -165 favorite. There was a pullout in this price. Kawhi Fernandez's price is if he was going to fight Faraz Ziam, or he'd be a big underdog. Now, obviously, he gets Hardwick, where he's a favorite. Cash game value, lineup, lock, done. I do think he wins this fight, by the way. Where do you go from there? Well, why is it 3 spots? Because you need to stack the main event. I don't think this is debatable. If you want to, you can go other options. I'm not even going to cover it on the show. I think you have to go here. Why do you have to go here? Well, the fight is a pick'em, pretty much across the board. Borralho is a small favorite, and then on top of that, you get a pick'em fight that is -175 to go to decision. You're going to get all 5 rounds of action. I don't see a reason to not play both sides of this fight, especially because you need Imavov, mostly because there's not a ton of cash viable dogs this week. You put those 3 guys in, 9,000 per fighter. This is a whole different conversation than the last few weeks that we've been doing these DraftKings cash game lineup builds, which we've been successful. I'm sure I'm going to jinx it now, pretty much every week. Where do we go from here? This is where you need to start. 3 guys in, 9K. All right. Here, as we start playing with, okay, you got Alexander Gustafsson, Axel Sola, Mason Jones, Sam Patterson, etc., etc. All right. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I'm going to exclude William Gomes. I'm going to exclude Gomes because he just doesn't score high enough typically. I'm going to exclude Keita because I kind of like Patricio to pull up an upset, and regardless, I don't know how well Keita is going to score in that matchup. I'm going to exclude. You could mess with Tavares. All right, I'm not going to exclude. I am going to exclude Modestas Bukauskas because this is a GPP high volatility type of fight. I'm going to exclude Axel Sola because making his UFC debut, I just don't trust that enough. And then I don't need the salary for Delia or Tybura. I would play Tybura, but the 9,500, I'm not going to play C. Bukauskas. I start leaving too much on the table here. I think you're better off 3 kind of in this upper mid-range. I just exclude the mid-range fight. What does that leave us? That leaves us at the low range, Gustafsson, Mason Jones, Sam Patterson. I'm also, by the way, going to exclude Mauricio Hufi. I think it's the GPP fight as well. I do think Saint-Denis is live. So I'm not going to go there. I think you're really Umar C., Sam Hughes, Brad Tavares, Patterson, Jones, Gustafsson. It's that kind of condensed in terms of who we're playing in cash games. So you got a few options. Let's start with, if you're going to play Gustafsson, who I do like, you get 93.5. Well, then you can play Sam Hughes and Umar C. And this, my knee-jerk reaction, this is probably the lineup I'm going to like the most. I think Sam Hughes is super safe, can get takedowns. Gustafsson is all go. Even if we're not wins, I think Gustafsson's got a pretty good floor here. And Umar C is, again, the biggest favorite on the card for a reason, should be pretty safe. If you don't like, so that's, I think, where you go if you play Gustafsson. You tell me you don't like Sam Hughes and you want to go Umar C and Brad Tavares. That combination is fine too. I think we're kind of splitting hairs. This is, you go Gustafsson for, I think you go C and then Hughes or Tavares. That's your build. If you don't like Gustafsson in cash games, you want to pivot from there. I think my second favorite probably go in this range of Mason Jones, Sam Patterson, and then you can get Umar Sy again. Don't hate that. So if you don't like Gustafsson, I think you can. I think those are really the two options. Then you play C and Patterson. Just looking real quick at some other options here. I don't like Hoofy, don't like Keita. I think this kind of builds itself. If you don't like Gustafsson, you go Jones and Patterson. Really don't like Mason Jones. I suppose you could go Sam Patterson, Tavares, and Sam Page. I think those are the three cash game options this week. And I think I'm going to rank them for you right now. So I think my least favorite of that bunch is going to be the last version I just did without Umar Sy. It's viable. But if you go Jones, Patterson, oh no, sorry. I'm talking already lost my train of thought here because I just don't like Mason Jones. You go Sam Patterson. Found it. Sam Patterson, Tavares, Hughes. This is option one. I think it's fine. But it's my third, what I consider my third ranking. My second favorite lineup in terms of cash game viability is down here. If you're going to go both Mason Jones, Sam Patterson, and Umar Sy. And I think this is really like 1B. I'm ranking it 2, but it's 1B, really solid option here. Or if you want to play, if you like Gustafsson, you go Gustafsson, Umar Sy, and then you can pick Hughes or Tavares. I like either one of those. I prefer Sam Hughes. That's probably where I'm going to lean this week, but those are your options. 3 are locked in. Then you have to make a decision on Gustafsson, yes or no. If it's yes, you pay off per Sy and go Tavares or Hughes. If it's no, then you're playing your Sam Patterson, Mason Jones. This is where I would go. Those are your anything outside of that. I mean, there's tons of options when you build a DraftKings cash game lineup. Anything outside of that, I think is the wrong build this week. This is where you should be going. Hopefully, I've guided you guys in a little bit of the right direction. Do me a favor, if you didn't already, smash the like button, hit follow, subscribe on YouTube. GPP video tomorrow trying to take down the big money. Good luck in those contests. Subscribe to DFS Army if you want access to more breakdowns, more tools. This is the tool I'm going to be using tomorrow. Good luck. See you tomorrow. Let's cash it.